Namaste everyone. Welcome to our weekly Interfaith gathering. It is my great pleasure and honor to welcome all of you. I am the president of the Value Community in New York. I see my friends from different faith groups. Today we will focus on nature because this month is a Earth Day celebration and we have an Earth Festival coming up. Last day, one of our friends from Sai Baba group, he passed away, so his wife requested to have a prayer for his soul. I'll start with the one prayer, then each one of you can do it. Om Trayambagam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardanam Purvarukumiyo Bandana Mrityor Mukshayama Mrdat Om Trayambagam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardanam Purvarukumiyo Bandana Mrityor Mukshayama Mrdat Om Trayambagam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardanam Purvarukumiyo Bandana Mrityor Mukshayama Mrdat Om Sarvesham Sustirbhavadu Sarvesham Shantirbhavadu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavadu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavadu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Sandhu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Gachyat Dukhavat Bhave Asudoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amradam Gamaya Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Yoga Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Yoga Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Yoga Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. So who's going next? Sardaji.
Yes, to me.
Sister Sarida from the Sai Baba group.
Saishwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Saishwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Saishwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you. Kribalji.
Hani. Wahru, Wahru, Wahru. Ek Onkar Satnam Sri Wahru. Ek Onkar Satnam Karta Purkh Nirbhav Nirvair Akal Murਤ Ajuni Sahibhang Gur Prasad. Hey Nimane de Man, Nitane de Tan, Newton de Ur, Nyasin de Ase, Sache Pasha Wahru. आप ये सूरी चरणों में बेनती है कि बिछड़ी हुई रूह ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਕਮਲਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਿਵਾਸ ਬਖਸ਼ੋ ਤੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣਾ ਪਾਣਾ ਮੰਨਣ ਦਾ ਬਲ ਬਖਸ਼ੋ। ਸਹੀ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਮਿਲੋ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਆਪਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਚਿਤਿਆਵੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਨਾਮ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ ਤੇਰੇ ਪਾਣੇ ਸਰਬੱਤ ਦਾ ਭਲਾ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। What it means is, oh Lord, power of the powerless, shelter of the shelterless, grant peace to the departed soul and the family and comfort them. And we gratefully request this from you so that the departed soul may always be in your presence and be blessed with liberation from the cycle of births and deaths, and comfort the family behind. Thank you. That's what it briefly means.
Right. Jasbir Singh ji, so prayer for our departed friend.
Yes, I would say Ek Onkar Satnam, Bhavan Guru, Pani Pita, Mata Tarat Mahat, Divas Raat Doi Daya Daya, Khele Sagal Jagat, Changiya Ya Buriya Ya Vache Taram Hadur, Karmi Apo Apni Ke Nede Ke Dur, Jinni Naam Te Aya Gayam Sakkat Kaal, Nanak Te Mukujre, Titi Chutti Naal, Surya Kiran Mile, Jal Ka Jal Hua Ram, Jyoti Jyot Rali, संपूर्ण हुआ था। एक ओंकार ओम परमात्मा जो एक ही है, only one. When a person goes away, the light, sunlight merges with the sunlight, the divine energy within us merges with the divine energy. Water in us merges with water, and our body goes to earth, and the whole cycle is completed. Thanks to the Lord. We pray for the bereaved from our point of view, but they all reside in the Lord's home for the eternal journey. And that's what the goal of life is. And we pray for those and pray to Vaheguru, Akal Purukh, Paramatma, Ishvara, that all those who have gone from this earth may find refuge at your lotus feet and find eternal peace. Thank
you. Gabriel.
Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamrutat. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamrutat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamrutat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om
Romiji Nona. Romiji Kapoor.
हाँ जी, मैं आज पास करूंगी because I'm at work.
Okay.
So I'll just listen. Yeah, I'll just listen.
Dr. Sanjeev, unmute yourself.
Namaskar, Guruji.
Namaste.
Start with the prayer. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunanto Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejassana Vadhitamastu Ma Vidshavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gayatri Mantra 5 times. Om Bhurabhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurabhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurabhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurabhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurabhuvasvaha Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. 5 times Om Nad with chanting 11 times in a one breath. Om 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 Om
Thank you.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. It's very useful for meditation, these mantras, Gayatri Mantra, Mahamrityunjaya Mantra, and Om chanting like this.
Right.
And in a one breath, you will extend up to 21 Om Kar Dhani, ya Om Dhani is very beneficial for your heart, and your stress level come down within 2 to 3 minutes when you chant these mantras. Thanks, Guruji. Thanks
Thank you.
to talk to you. Thanks.
So I want to mention about our friend who left the body. So Maurice, his first name, and he came to America with his parents. His mother was one of the diplomat at the UN. When the UN started, they are long time devotees of Satya Sai Baba, and I know them through Sami Bua. When I was living with the Sami Bua, they came to see Sami Bua, then we met. Then I understood their teacher was very close with Sami Bua and Sai Baba. She used to come to India. Then we became close. Usually every month I see them there in their house. We have dinner or lunch together. Last 2 years we were not in touch, but a few months back I saw him on the street and we had a hug. That's the time I saw him last. And yesterday Raj Bhushan called and said he passed away. Right away I called wife, I talked with her. Her name is Rosa, and she asked us to do a prayer today. So I want to ask Sarada Kumar and Shivaji is there, and to explain about their experience with them. Good to know. Most of you don't know them, so they will explain. And unmute you.
Okay. Yeah. Namaste ji.
Okay.
Well, I know Mo and Rosa from the time that we used to have the United Nations Center,
Right.
which now a group. It's a smaller group, but they were very, very active at the center. Mo was a very accomplished musician. He played the flute beautifully. He also sang bhajans. So those are the main things that he was very involved with at our center. He also liked to teach. He was, he had a lot of training, I guess, in India. He had been to see Satya Sai Baba very early on. And both he and Rosa have very strong faith in Swami, as we call Satya Sai Baba. And I think it's that faith also that is sustaining Rosa now that she has lost her dear husband. So all they really wanted was prayers. And as years have gone by, they joined the Manhattan Center and also the Metropolitan Center of New York, which is predominantly a Spanish English center. And there too, they've been very active. Of course, the body takes its toll, I guess, as time goes by. They, especially Rosa was unwell, and so they couldn't take part in a lot of the other activities, seva activities that we had. But still, they were active in the bhajan singing and attending the center meetings, for which we are so grateful. And actually, I always smile about Mo because he loved to have an argument. And he would always come up with these beautiful subjects to talk about. One of the things that they were very active with, actually, even as long as the center at the place was open, was at the Baptist church. We had a program where we cooked fully vegetarian meals, and they came to it was at a church where we served food on a Sunday, and Mo and Rosa were always there. Rosa got involved with the serving of the elders who were there, and Mo actually sat at the piano and played beautiful classical music for the seniors, many of them who probably could not attend a live musical program. So that was his form of seva, and he enjoyed it thoroughly. They also got involved in talking to and befriending a lot of the seniors. So they're beautiful memories of them. I had the opportunity also of knowing of Mo's mother, because the organization that I worked with, which was one of the UN NGOs, she was the director, the regional director of that organization. And a lot of the things that people had told me about Mo's mother were the characteristics that Mo had: very strong, friendly, smiling person. So those are my memories of Mo.
Mo.
Thank you.
Thank you. Rajbhai.
Namaste, everyone.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to come to a meeting, a gathering at the United Nations. I'm walking there. Sorry for this method of communication. Brother Mo and Sister Rosa were a big part of Manhattan Science Center when I was actually involved between 2011 to 2015. They would come to all the satsang. And then his favorite bhajan was Sai bhajan bina sukha shanti nahi, Hari naam bina ananda nahi, Prema bhakti bina satkarma nahi. Sorry, I'm missing the words. But he sang that song in English, that without loving service, there's no liberation, something like that. I don't remember the exact word. That song always stuck in my mind, that bhajan. It's that talks about basically without loving devotion, there's no salvation. Without loving service, there is we can get peace of mind. That's the essence of that bhajan. And he always played nice flute. I think he was part of the Bailey sisters. They had a satsang in Prashanti Nilayam. He's part of the International Sai Choir. He was part of that, I know. I just discovered, searching internet, that Brother Mo and Sister Rosa were the first ones from Honduras to be Sai devotees. So in Central America, they played a bigger role in the Sai movement. And of course, with World Yoga Community, for a monthly satsang, used to come regularly to West 43rd. I think I included one picture. I don't know, you can show the video I sent you, Brother Dil.
I didn't download it, but I'll put it on Facebook.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and then it's on YouTube now. So I can send you the link.
Okay.
So anyhow, that kind of captures the various satsang events Mo and Rosa participated. It's appropriate tribute. I'm walking by St. Patrick's Cathedral. I think she's from the Christian faith. So he
Catholic.
drawn into Sai Baba. I think he had so many mystical experiences, which because I think the energy level was so intense at times he could not handle, being in this body. So sometimes, sorry?
He had that situation.
Yeah, so sometimes it may be difficult to relate to his presence, but it's always to step back and just observe, experience the different aspect of divinity he was manifesting. So I deeply, and I remember a lot of events we were together. Another time, Brother Gabe invited us to Yajna in 2014. So we all, and Brother Gabe arranged us a limousine. So me, Brother Dil, Mo, and Rosa, and I think Sister Faith also came. So we all went there. We had nice Havan. I think so, I don't remember the name of the Swami who performed the yajna. Do you remember, Brother Dil?
No, I don't remember, but he's a popular guy from India.
Yeah. So we have a picture. It's already in the Facebook. So anyhow, they performed the yajna. We had some juice meal. So we had a chance to spend some intimate conversation. Another time, we went. The Mo and Rosa used to have, I think, monthly
1,000 name chanting.
1,000 name chanting. One time I went there. I'm not the type to sit for 2 hours. It was difficult, but made it through. It was a lot of good vibration, and we had really very delicious food afterwards. So I have prayed to Sister Rosa and all her family. Please let us know the funeral details. God willing, we'll attend in person or via Zoom. So again, Sai Baba will receive him, and I'm sure if he's not liberated, he will send him back to Earth to play a greater role in Prema Sai, the next avatar, the triple incarnation. Shri Sai, Satya Sai, Prema Sai. So for the non-devotees on the panel, the main teaching of Baba is love all, serve all. So he did not emphasize one particular religion or change the religion. Go deep into your own religion and to be the best you can. Be the best Christian, be the best Sikh, be the best Jew, like that. So it's that teaching. I'm attracted to Sai Baba. Through Sai Baba's activities, I got to know Brother Mo and Sister Rosa. So hope to see Sister Rosa soon. And with that, I'll sign off. Thank you, Brother Dale. Thanks for dedicating this meeting to Brother Mo. He certainly deserves it. He's one of the evolved souls. There's no doubt about that. I mean, he may not be able to relate his mystical experiences and out-of-body experiences, those things. I got a glimpse of it. Rosa also has written a book. I think Tries with the Divinity or something like that. I forgot. So that book is on Amazon, where she captures in detail. See, they were all connected to Indra Devi.
Correct.
Indra Devi, master yogini from Russia. I think she also lived like 100 years or so, 101 or so. So through them, they were the old-time devotees of Baba. A lot of hippies came to Baba in the 60s, 70s, and Hilda Charlton, that group, and various, all the saints were coming to New York at one time or another. They stayed at Rosa Moses' place. So they were like playing host to, starting from Indra Devi, even before that, I think. And then Swami Muktananda, the various saints I can't even think of. And I also used to see them in Amachi's group,
Right.
the hugging saint, and then the Swami Amma Karunamai, the satsang at the church on East
Community church, right?
34th Street, I think. And also, they were a big part of Metropolitan Center. We have a Sai Baba Center, which is Spanish speaking, which meets on Saturday. So they used to come there pretty good. So anyhow, may Lord Creator, Baba, accept him, bless the family. Thanks for allowing me to share these few thoughts. God bless. Sai Ram.
Thank you, Rajbhai. Gabriel.
Where?
I'm just asking Gabriel.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Namaste, everyone. This is a beautiful occasion, the way I see. The celebration of Mo's life.
Rajbhai, sound is coming. I'm going to mute you. Okay. Yeah.
The celebration of Mo's life and all that Mo has had the opportunity to absorb in his life, all the growth and the wonderful connections that he's made and influences that he's had on all of us. They've been opportunities for growth, and they've also been direct sharing, which has allowed for growth, and challenges, which have also allowed for growth. And regardless, Mo has been a very deep source of inspiration, the way I've seen it, because he has lived a life where he's been inspired by music. He's been inspired by great saints. He chose, or it happened to be that his mother ended up being such a powerful figure in the United Nations and in leadership, and it reflected in Mo's character, the way that he stood very firm in his convictions and his beliefs, and he was very, very strong-minded, and that's a necessary quality, I think, to having spiritual advancement and growth, because it's uncompromising, and there's a thirst there that needs strength in order to keep moving forward, and Mo certainly had that. I remember going to Mo's place with Guruji for the 1008 names of Baba, and yes, that was a wonderful experience, very highly energetic, very charged. I agree with Raj, it was a challenge, and it was a beautiful challenge. And I know that Mo also had affinities to nature and to the subtle aspects of nature. I remember one one yoga class that he came to. After the yoga class, we were talking about birds, and I started to make a whistle, a chirping sound, and he gave me a look like where did that come from? And I saw that he was very aware of the vibration and the sensitivity of the tone and the sound frequency. So he had a very deep love when it came to music and sound and vibration. And that's something that cannot be taught. It's something that has to be learned very, very, very profoundly, very deeply from the depths. And that shows his love. That shows devotional quality that Mo embodied while he was in the body and when he continues in his journeys. And I feel that this is a point of celebration, celebrating one's achievements, one's victories, and their embodiment of love. And the message that Baba gave, which was to love all and serve all. And he had the ability to connect with Baba and to touch all of us that are here, the ones who knew him. And that's a form of service. So I just want to say thank you and salam.
Brazil, one more comment I wanted to make. And you would joke, his name is Mo, right? But he would always say, my name is actually Om. If you reverse the order of pronunciation, O-M, it's M-O, Mo, or Om,
Reverse all.
Being in spiritual life for 60 plus years is amazing. I think that's really says a lot. Sorry, Saira.
Yeah, he was with the hippie groups that I remember all the stories. Once they took a bus and go somewhere, end up in trouble. Then he came back to New York. And with me is only 10 years of friendship. Within 10 years, he gave me a really beautiful time and a very hard time for me. First moment with the Sami Bua, I made chai, Indian chai for them, and they asked me to go to their place. Next week I went there. So Sami Bua already told me how more he is and Rosa, both are different characters. So Sami Bua, watch out this guy, he may give you trouble. I said, okay, I'll go. Then he wanted to know, Sami Bua did all the mudras. I want to learn about this. Can you tell about this? I said, I'm not supposed to talk. Sami Bua is supposed to talk. And I know it. Then he started explaining things. I said, I don't want to talk about this one. Then I invite him to our monthly interfaith group. Then he come and perform. He had a real commitment. Always he comes on time. That's the best part about it. Then the last part, 2 years back, we had a prayer service at the Bartholomew Church, I think. And I was one of the presenter in that. Even after the event, he said, oh, we'll go for a dinner. Are you able to come? I said, okay, we'll go. I went to a Japanese place on 30th or something between 5th and Madison. That's the place you sit in the wooden floor. It's a beautiful place. We are talking. And he started drinking a little bit, that went in his head. And he took a knife and threatened me. Then Rosa was wondering what is going on. And they had an argument. We came out. He was totally drunk. And he created some problem with other members of the this restaurant. Then we talked. Yeah. And that's the way he is. He's very, very sweet a certain way. Certain way he can be very mean. That's his nature. So we know that. So we'll take it easy way. Then after that, I didn't. Few minutes. I didn't talk to him. I give him a space. Then he called me. Then I said, okay, we'll keep little distance. That way, keep the relationship healthy. Then 6 months back, I saw him on the street. Then he asked me, "Are you still hate me?" I said, "No, I didn't hate, because you misbehaved, so I had to give him little time to change yourself." So he gave me a hug, we left. That's the way. A few days before I was walking there, then I thought I want to call them, Then I'm hearing the news from Raj yesterday. That's right. Yes, Kibalji.
That was a great handling. May I say something over here from the Sikh viewpoint, how we view it, the depart. In Guru Nanak's view, the hymn we read at the when someone passes away is called Sohila. Sohila means a song of praise. And Sohila is also read every night before we go to bed, because the sleep is considered like a temporary death, and then we recreate it in the morning. But the actual death is a long sleep. And Guru Nanak says that, the human life is a blessed birth. It is not, it is a gift of the Lord, that we have evolved through many lifetimes into the human life, and this is our opportunity to reconnect with them. So he calls the death of the individual at the end like being returning home, and it's like a wedding celebration. The God is the husband and the soul is the as if spouse. So one of the hymns which in the Soila is called, here I can see better. If there be a home for praise and thoughts of the Creator, let the home sing in celebration and remember our designer. You sing a hymn of glory to my fearless one. I offer myself to the hymn of glory, which brings everlasting joy. Ever and ever all creatures are nurtured and cared for by the giver. Your bounty cannot be measured. Who can reckon that giver? The wedding day is written. Come, friends, come pour the oil together. Give me your blessings, my friend, that I may join my sovereign. Each and every home, the marriage thread, the invitations are sent to each and all. Nanak says, remember the sender in gratitude, for the day will come for all of us. Thank you. This is how this first hymn is in the Soila, the 5 altogether. So birth is blessed, and depart from here is like just Singh explained, that like a ray of light reflects in the sun, the water mixes with water, air mixes with air, all those elements go back, and our soul, our Atma goes into the Paramatma, and that's how the union takes place. Thank you.
So that is not a bad thing. That is a beautiful thing. According to the yogic principle, we are changing our cloth one form to another form. That's it.
Yes.
So we take it. Some tradition they have the celebration. They have the music and dance. But a lot of time we just cry and think about the person. Attachment is there. So this is.
I have attended some Irish funerals in which they have a keg of beer. They keg of beer, and there's a viewing of the body, and everyone takes a drink and talks about and feel at ease, and talks about the good parts of the person, and they celebrate that way. It was kind of eye-opening for me to see them drinking keg of beer. I've never seen that before.
So when you talk about the beer, I was remembering Mo used to say ayahuasca. He always talk about that. He want to see what is the real Amrit from Hindu tradition. He want to find out. He want to be eternal. These questions will ask. So very interesting. Our dinner will go like a 3 or 4 hour for a small dinner.
Yeah. Guruji, in the history I used to read that when the Aryans came, they were very fond of somras. Was the Somras the same as beer?
That is different. That meant philosophically, it's not the physical stuff.
Oh, I see.
That's why he was asking about Swami Buva's mudras, because once you do the mudra, you extend your life. So one of the Indian media person interviewed, then they asked, who else can do that one? He said, he's the person going to continue my work. So his students got upset.
You know, another interesting thing.
May I say something here about Somras? A lot of misgiving. I'm sorry, go ahead, doctor. Please go ahead.
Another interesting thing was when I was a student in a college in Louisiana, there used to be stands called Brahmbuti drinks. I never had one, but I was wondering what that may be, Guruji. Brahmbuti.
Because they may have the herbal combination, you know, like a different types of things. But actually, this Somarasa is when you go to the deeper state of meditation, you feel the flow of the energy from the universe. Then you involve with that, you know, you synchronize you and that energy field. So you go in a different state of mind. That's the way it is.
Nectar.
Yes, may I interject here?
Yeah.
I have studied about the Somras, the origins. Actually, it's a plant in Afghanistan. And the people like Aryans, as they intermingled, as they came around, they used to take the tea made of this. And it had those qualities which could, as Guruji said, you could go in a different state of mind, but not intoxication, actually. And actually, that's a plant. It's a tea made out of a kind of herbal tea from that Soma tree, Soma plant. That's called Somaras.
Interesting. You know, the word Pangda, for example, dance, comes from the word Pang. And people used to dance around Shivji, drinking cannabis. Is there something like that, Guruji?
I heard that when you go to Kumbh Mela, you see people how they are.
And they do?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like a lot of people are more spiritually, so they follow the scriptures, they won't drink, they won't smoke like that. And sometimes you see some saints, they are criminals, escape from the jail and hiding there. Some places you see people drink and smoke and everything, nothing will affect them. So it's very, very hard to compare all the stuff, you know.
Different way to look at things.
Many of the ancient cultures had some sort of thing, like the Peruvian, the Mayas, they have this ayahuasca, which is a herbal thing also, which I think they smoke it. Yes. And it takes them to a state, an altered state, which is supposed to be very spiritually enlightening.
And the Native Americans use things like mescaline and all those kind of stuff.
Right.
And even the Siddha tradition, they have drugs. They use to cleanse the nerves. Sometimes we don't have that energy flow is going on. As a treatment, they have like a 1 month, 3 month, they take this medicine and they'll fix it. That's not.
Yeah. Can I say something?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I mean, you heard of Guru Ramdas, right? Richard Alpert. He was a Harvard professor who became Ramdas. His guru is Neem Karoli Baba. You know, Neem Karoli Baba did not give any teaching, you know. He would always chant Ram, 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 Ram. But he would smoke and he would pass the smoke around his devotees. That's his way of initiation. Before Richard Albert Ramdas came to Neem Karoli Baba, he used to do all kinds of psychedelic drugs and all kinds of experiences. I mean, these are all various aspects of experiencing the mind and eliminating the mind. So there's nothing wrong with that. And the last point on sometimes difficult behavior from people is an opportunity spiritually for us to be how soft we can be, how accommodating we can be, how forgiving we can be. that's the lesson for us, not to judge from an angle of, oh, this is the correct behavior, this is not the correct behavior. So with that, I will stop. Sairam.
So I'll give you a story. In Kerala, we used to have a saint, Siddha. His name is Pundura Samigal. It's in Trivandrum. So one day I went to see him. Usually he won't look at anybody. And one of my teacher was telling the story. Once Amma, hugging mother, came to see him. So he came to near the fence and spit on her. And all of the devotees got upset. Why he's spitting on her? So Amma said, this is a blessing. Then within 1 year, she started traveling around the world. That's a blessing, And he used to smoke cotton bidi. That's a traditional leaf type of smoke cigar. Cotton bidi and cotton chai. It's like a black tea. This is the only thing he take. No food, nothing. Years and years I saw him. He take only these two.
Wow.
So 2 years back, I went to see his samadhi. I heard he passed away. So one lady used to clean that place, and she came and pulled my Rudraksha mala. She just held it like this, and she was so angry. So I just stood. I started talking nicely with her. So all of my friends got upset. Some police officers with me, they want to beat her up. I said, no, don't touch it. It's a test, That mala wore by Sami Bua. I am wearing that mala. So she held it and slowly she took hand off and she gave me a hug and she wanted to have a chai. I took her to the restaurant, gave her food, and everybody started laughing. I said, no, this is the test, and see how we behave, So we just take
That
it.
was very nice handling. Very nice. I have another question for you, Guruji. There is a sect called Vaishno, Bhairon Puja. I went one time to south of Nagpur. They had a Bhairon Mandir, and there they offered meat and liquor and all that kind of stuff to please that god. What is that story? Tell me a little bit about that.
In India, all the Hinduism, what we are seeing that because of Adi Shankaracharya. He compelled all the teachings in one formation. But before that, everything came from the indigenous tradition, and they used to have different practices. And some people may misuse. We never know. The history is totally different, And some people focus on the black magic tradition. Some are under white magic. There is more mantras are under white magic tradition. Some people like to hurt some people because they have this jealousy nature. So they want to hurt other people. And they became expert in that field. And you see, those who misuse the spiritual, I'll say, they get the experience, right? When you do deeper spiritual practices, and miracles will happen. And they attach in that one and they end up in suffering in the future. That's the way. Even one of the monk, the yoga monk, he made tremendous wealth through yoga, made like a factory teaching all the yoga teachers. In the end, he ended up in the wheelchair. Now that ashram is closing now. So that is their karma. We don't have to worry about that part. For us, my point of view, you learn something, just jump inside and practice. This is a journey from one place to another place. There's no ending journey, So in this path, you see all the plus and minus in different ways. And that's also a teaching for us to how to face it. Even our life itself. We go through all the difficult part in our life. The main thing is how we face it. That's why I always say when we get a raw diamond, you cut it, polish, and it became a beautiful diamond. And one day you lose that diamond. That's the moment you understand the realization. That is not yours.
It's interesting.
In my personal life, I lost every single thing in my life. So I learned it what is it. So I thank all of the people, those who gave me hard time.
Another
Well,
question.
you have to be zero to be hero.
Correct. Zero
Yes.
to zero.
Another question I have from the people from the Sai Baba tradition, there used to be something called Bibhuti, he will give it to people and like that. Can you tell a little bit about that? I don't know too much about it, but I heard
That
that.
is from the Siddhi. Great beings, they can do different types of siddhis, as very clearly explained in yogic textbooks. They can bring their body to smaller, disappear, make it bigger, heavy, different types. So this is part of the siddhis.
That's called Ridhya Siddhya when we talk about, right? Yeah.
And so many people made comments against him. Then I personally saw what is going on in his place. When I was little, he used to come to my hometown. There is a royal family from the Cochin Kingdom. So Swami used to come there. So I was very little. I just went up on his lap and sat, and everybody is looking at me and thinking, what is going on? That is my personal experience with him from childhood. Then I visit his place. Every time I get a chance to talk with him, I don't want to, I don't have to wait for an interview or anything. Automatically happen. And I remember once I went to him and he said, oh, you're going to America. I said, even I don't have a passport. How it will happen? He said, just wait. So after a few months, I got my passport. One of my friends said, then I got the passport and I end up in America. So when I got the visa, I went to see him and he said, oh, when you go to New York, look for Sami Bua. I said, Sami Bua? I was thinking. Then I remember I met Sami Bua when I was little. Then I came here looking for Sami Bua. I cannot find out. And I end up in the Flushing Temple. I saw Sami Bua teaching yoga class there. And then I end up living with the Sami Bua. I became the caretaker. See how everything linked, That's the way.
Kripalji, you were asking about Sai Baba or Shirdi Baba?
Sai Baba.
No, Sai Baba.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, all this miracle was used to bring people. Some of them needed miracles. Some of depending on what stage we are in the spiritual progress. So some the patient is sick. Some person, for some person they will just give a tablet. Some person they may say, watch your diet. Like that, he used the miracle, created rings, japamala, various things for those people who needed it. But that's not the end of the spiritual journey. They're just to bring him to, he would always say, I will give you what you want so that I can give you what I really come to give you, which is God awareness, spiritual awareness, to discover who we really are. The essence of his teaching is, he always called each one of us Divyatma Swarupalala, divine embodiment of love. That you are pure divinity, you just don't know it. And then you have to uncover all the negative quality, ego, jealousy, hatred, envy, etc. Become childlike, become godlike, then be a source of benefit to people around you. So the miracle is one aspect of it, and people who are stuck in that level didn't progress to really benefit. Even my brother was a devotee of Sai Baba. He was a psychiatrist like you, Palji. He passed on. He's the one who brought me to America. So when through my sister-in-law, my brother was introduced. Those days, there were very few people in the 80s going to see him. So he had a private audience. He materialized his business card, Sai Baba, gave it to my brother. He said, "Come and stay here, visit and help work on this mission." He eventually built on a super specialty hospital, etc. So my brother didn't catch on to that level. So he brought me to Sai Baba's fold. I took the spiritual path this way, started focusing on, not on miracles, but on his teachings, which is essentially, you are divine, you are pure, you are love, you are embodiment of peace, you are the everything that what scriptures what Guru Nanak taught, what he, that as we call, everything is that oneness. That's how I became oneness, brother oneness, because of his deep influence. So now I'm oneness message promoter. Sai Ram.
I'll tell you another story. One
you.
of my
Yes.
friend, his name is Janardhan Nair. He was a caretaker of my master. His name is Prabhagarji. He's a Siddha master. And he used to live in my hometown earlier. And he was very close with Vivekananda. And he lived in Himalayas for a long time. And he traveled from Himalayas to Kerala through water. It took more than 11 years to reach there. He was living underwater. And one day, police got a message, somebody did fishing and they got an animal in the net. And they brought to the police and they found this guy with all the algae on his body. And one of our leader found he's a person, he's a Siddha person, so they saved him. And this Janardhan Nair was taking care of him. One day he wanted to go and see Sai Baba, but he don't want to tell his master. So he sneaked out from the house and went to Puttavarthi. He didn't see Sai Baba. Sai Baba was in White Plains, another place. And he came back. So master asked him, did you see Sai Baba? He left the place without telling the master. Went there, he didn't see and come back. And master asked, did you see Sai Baba? And he said, how he knows, Then he kept quiet. After a few months, he wanted to go and see Sai Baba again. So he came to the master, and master, without telling, he said, don't go to White Plains, you go to Puttaparthi, Baba will be there. So he went to see Baba, and he was sitting in the last part of the line. Sai Baba directly came to him and asked him, did you get a permission from your master to see me? See how this communication goes, right? And he said, yes. He said, your master and me are one. We communicate. This is the way Siddhas are. And saintly people, they know what is going on around the universe. That's the way.
Thank you.
In terms of the vibhuti, which is actually the ash, or basmam, also that we call it, Swami always created it. We have seen it ourselves. It just flowed out of his hand. The vibhuti itself has a lot of curative powers as well. So he used it to cure people or to bring people if people had drinking problems and things, that helped them to cross over a lot of the hurdles. But I think, like Raj and Guruji was saying right now, these are just calling cards. It wasn't for you to just stay there at that point, and he didn't want you to talk about his miracles or anything. What he wanted you to do is to learn his teachings. And Sai Baba's teachings are universal. He does not want anybody to change their religion, convert to any other religion. He says, if you are a Christian, be a good Christian. If you are Sikh, be a good Sikh. Practice the tenets of your religion. So that's why people from different faiths come to him and follow. And I think the challenge for us is not really to be called a devotee of Sai Baba, but really for us to become those by practicing the teachings. And that's the hard part. Any teaching, look at it, it's we have to practice the teaching. It's not enough for us to preach it, right?
Yes,
that's right.
So beautifully said, Sarita Bhen. And Raj Bhai, आपने बहुत अच्छा कहा जो आपने वनस की बात करी है. गुरबाणी में है, ए मन तू ज्योत स्वरूप है, अपना मूल पहचान. That is mine. You are the element of the divine. Remember, you have to discover that within yourself. And pachano, you have to pachano your source. And if you do that, there's no religion doesn't mean anything. Religion is just labels. The core principle of all religion is oneness and love and seva and service. And once you have understood that the religion has no meaning. Religion is nothing.
Correct.
All the religion there is.
We see all the religions time to time, masters came and woke everyone and religion started.
Yeah,
When you stick with the religion, you separate people.
that's right.
Religious teachings are meant for to unify people. That's the part we do.
That's right.
So we never neglect people unless they are very, very hard on others. We'll give them time. We'll clean yourself and come back. That's why we say.
That's right. That's why the word Ikonkar means unifying. That's the unification philosophy. Ikonkar. Everyone under the same canopy.
Yes.
Thank you, Bhai Sahib. You nicely explained from the Sikh religion point. I know that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's all same thing. You say in different language, you may say in Sanskrit, you may say in Gurmukhi, somebody may in some other language. Languages don't mean anything, I mean, all religions and knowledge exists in human language. But if you go back to the humanity, the fundamentals, they're the same.
So this is in divine nature, there's no language.
There's no language.
That's only the sound. That's the way it is. And I remember when I was working at the climbing wall as a manager on 62nd Street, Swami Bua used to live on 58th Street, only 4 blocks walk. So afternoon, I feel I want to go and see him. A lot of time it happened like this. When I go there, he's in the 11th floor. Door is already open, waiting for me. He never called. I didn't call. But this is a communication happening. Then he'll ask me, did you get my message? I say, I got your message. I'm here.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes it's referred as a sixth sense or telepathic.
Right. And the regular people cannot understand that, and we don't want them to learn everything. So like a child cannot eat a pie of pizza. 1 month old child should get the breast milk. That's the way. So there's a step to go, each step. And people like us, we care about the students. We don't want them to make mistakes. So we won't teach everything. Or one reverend was asking today, can you talk about the mysticism on your yogic philosophy in our satsang? I said, no. It's not about the talking. It's an experience.
Experience.
So you have to wait and go through that experience and process.
Just Guruji mentioned just now about siddhas and how they communicate from each other, even though they are distant apart. I mean, not only human to human, they understand even animals. They don't. Guru Nanak's life story, there's an episode where he when he goes to Assam and deeper in the northeast, he dwelled in a village, and the villagers complained that we are very, very tired of this area. There are tigers in the jungle, and they come and harass us all the time. They hurt our people. And Guru Nanak said, yes, okay, no problem. There must be something. So he went into the jungle himself. He called all the tigers and lions, and he said, I asked them, why are you doing this? And they said, since then, there was no problem. And that's how they have communication level at all levels of existence of all living beings. That's what.
In Kerala, we had a famous monk called Chattambi. He used to call all the animals, even ants to snakes.
Yes.
Poisonous snake. When he calls, they all come to him, and he feeds them.
Yes.
They have that different types of communication.
That's right.
In Christianity, they have Saint Francis Assisi.
Yes.
He used to the birds. He did the sermon to the birds. And Mershi Ji, he also stories. I think there was one about his cow Lakshmi. Lakshmi he used to let Lakshmi sit and stand wherever she wanted to in the meetings when Ramana Maharshi had his groups there. And one morning, Ramana Maharshi called the people who were taking care of Lakshmi and said, what happened? Lakshmi is complaining to me that she didn't get her idlis this morning. So they said, we ran short of the dough, so we didn't make enough and we have 4, but the person has gone to the market to get something, so we have saved it for him. So Ramana Maharshi said, no, you please give Lakshmi 2 and you keep 2 for him. So she was very happy, but that is the level of communication
Yeah, yeah.
you can get.
Mhm. Yes.
So earlier you asked, talk about this meat, even we won't promote meat, any non-vegetarian food, but even Shiva ate meat. That's a history. But you have to remember, he never eat food.
Mhm.
And he had this Siddha tradition, he had the Siddhis and all the stuff. So nothing can affect those people. That's why he took the poison when they had the tuning the river, right? The Samudra. They got all the Amrit and all the poison came separate, and only Shiva can take it.
Mhm.
Nothing happened because great yogis, whatever they eat, nothing happened. Even we have this tradition in Siddha, we make medicine from mercury, solid mercury.
Mhm.
And they do the abhishek on this mercury and they take that milk. And
Yeah.
they heal the body.
Yeah, even similar kind of example is about Krishnji, that when he was in the water or something, big snake or something attacked him, and then his color changed from fair to dark, and something like that is the story. Mhm.
These are the siddhis. Swami Shivananda mentioned about this. Siddhis are the waste product of the spiritual experience.
Mhm.
You go state to state. There's no end for it.
Mhm. Well, it's been a very fruitful discussion. I have to go, so I beg your pardon. I have to go somewhere else, but it's been very enlightening. See you next week.
So we'll wind up today's meeting, and our few events are coming up. 22nd, we have Earth Festival. 23rd and 24th, Interfaith Summit. 25th, another event with Ananda Marga. So 3 days events. I'll inform through Facebook. Thank you, everyone.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sri Ram.